So what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? You doing good? I'm doing good. My name is Nyan Yenfin. Welcome to the third Culture Talk podcast. This is gonna be a solo episode. It's August time, so that's when everyone's traveling. They're going on vacation, getting that last minute. All right, let me enjoy the summer for a little bit before we get back into the fall. But to be honest, though, I ain't gonna lie to you. New York has actually been cooler than expected for me personally. Like, cause last month, like what, July, June, July, it was like extremely humid. Like humid in a way that it was painful. Like extremely painful. It was so humid in New York that if I walked down the street, my shirt was already soaking wet, and that's so demoralizing. Cause when your shirt is like very sweaty, that's comes out of result of doing some work. So I'm not doing any work except going down the street, and I'm in shape too. So it looks even worse. So I'm coming back home all sweaty, not doing nothing really except like going to the corner store, and then just looking demoralized and being like, "Yo, wow, I'm really just sweating my whole entire shirt out just going down the street. Like, is something wrong with me? Like, what's going on?" It's crazy. So thankfully, New York is at a place now where it's cooler. The humidity is not as crazy, and we're in a good place right now. Otherwise, I ain't lying to you. I would have recycled everything in my apartment if it's gonna be another month of humidity. Like it was that crazy. It was to the point where people was like, "Yo, I need to come visit you out in New York." It's like, I don't know. You might want to hold back on that because this humidity is not. You don't want to spend money to come here for this type of humidity that was like happening. So like that was a problem. I think it's to a point where it was like, all right, I think this global warming thing might be real. Nah, global warming is real. I recycle. I got two buckets. Okay, I got two buckets. One for plastic, one for paper. So I'm not. I'm a. I'm an upstanding citizen. Okay, I'm an upstanding citizen. I've been watching social media. I've been watching social media, and apparently there's like some brawl that was happening in Montgomery, Alabama, where like I don't know, it's like basically white people against black people, and you know, I guess black people damn near assembled the Avengers because you had somebody swimming across the water or something to go and fight some dudes. I saw like two fights. I don't even know which one happened. Sometimes I'm not even in those circles of like seeing what's going on, and then I just saw somebody like swimming over in the pool and then like kind of like wringing the water off their shirt while a couple people were like fighting. Then I saw another one. Like it was a lot of fights that were going on. I was like, which one is it? Then I saw a lot of memes with people with chairs. I'm like, yo, y'all are fast when it comes to these memes. Like, I saw a couple. It's to the point I saw so many. It overshadowed the actual video that was happening. Like, I'm like, yo, what are people doing with these chairs? Like, I'm seeing somebody swinging chairs around. I see somebody acting like they're Mortal Kombat, like with the chairs. I'm like, what is going on? Then I saw the video. I'm like, all right, which one is it? But then I saw the dude, the way he was holding the chair. It was kind of like, I thought it was like a prank because the way he's holding it, he's just like, I'm like, yo, what are you about to do with that chair? I feel like I'm watching a wrestling match or something. Like, is this how things are gonna go down? Like, what are you waiting for? Just swing that chair. Maybe I didn't see the whole thing. I saw different angles of it and stuff, which is crazy, right? Like, it's crazy that it had a lot of angles of this fight. It almost felt like it was a TV show or something, because like to get multi angles of a fight is like crazy. Maybe I come from a different time where you only had like one angle, and that was the angle in which you was like facing it. But this shit damn near had like two angles. I was like, yo, this is having like an actual good coverage of this fight. Like this is actually like a good coverage. Should have production value. I'm like, oh shit, somebody was zooming in. Somebody had like another angle. We saw the person swimming, another angle from the other side. I'm like, yo, they had some real cameramen set up for this type of fight. You sure this wasn't staged or something? Otherwise, these two people was in sync. Like they're just like, yo, you got an iPhone 11? Yeah, I got an iPhone 11 too. Let's make this happen. Like, all right, I got this side right here. Make sure we don't break that, that rule where we got to cross over the line. Like they probably had that thing all synced up. I was like, damn, all right, y'all got this down pat. So, you know, shout out to all those who participated in that. I don't even know who won, who lost, but I heard, I saw some things that this is the same place like where some civil rights stuff happened. So, hey, look, if it happened over the weekend, hey, a win is a win, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting that we live in a time now. We have since World Star, right, of like filming fights and stuff. But the funniest one is when like a fight. It's not even a fight. It's like somebody just getting beat up, like somebody just getting like beat down, especially in New York. And like you have everyone be on like all the way on the other side of the subway or the subway train, and just watching the person just getting beat up, and you have a person like recording, and like that person will be close enough to help, but like don't help. And like I'm talking about, they're getting the angles, they're making sure they're getting down, to make sure they level with the person getting stomped out on the floor and stuff. And you be like, yo, all right, look, I think we got enough coverage. Help the person out. This person getting stomped the fuck out. Like help them a little bit. But you don't be having an angle like, all right, let me make sure this is. It's an interesting thing that's happening in our culture, like a culture where we would record the thing happening, but not prevent it from happening. I don't know what that is about. I don't know that because I guess if you think about it, like you would be the person that if you post it up first, you'd be like, oh, all right, this is an account where I can go to see like fights or certain like crazy shit that will happen like in real life. I can go to this account and then see it. So maybe that's the reason why people don't help anymore. It's like, all right, if I help, how am I gonna profit from this? Like, I'll profit from it in terms of like helping somebody, but then how will somebody know I helped? And would I be able to get likes from that, or will I be able to leverage this somehow? You know, maybe. All right, this is what we should do, right? Uh, this should be an account where you get recorded helping somebody or whatever, and then you'll be that person where you kind of help. You be like a superhero basically, right? Because every time we see you, you be helping out somebody that's getting stomped out. You be like, oh, all right, that's super person right there. That's that super person where they, if something pop off, that he or she gonna help to go and save the day. But then yeah, you do that, then you can probably gonna get some ops, like every superhero have ops, and if you're not like the right superhero, like the ops can really like touch you. You gotta be see if you're a superhero, you gonna have ops, right? And for anyone who doesn't know, like ops is opposition, basically a superhero, a villain, someone that doesn't want you to be super. That if you're a superhero in today's world, you gotta have like an enclave or something like that, to where like you can kind of just hide out until like some things really pop off, then you can come out. But you can't just be in the populace of like, okay, everyone knows you to be a superhero, and you go take the same train as them, because like after a while, somebody be looking like, yo, I don't like how you solved that crime. I'm gonna beat him up or something, or I'm gonna see how strong he really is. You're gonna get tested every day. Imagine if you're a super person and you just want to get groceries because you regular, right? And you try and go to Whole Foods get your groceries, and then somebody want to come and test you. Now you gotta put your arugula and like organic carrots and hummus down and go and fight a person. And they're supposed to step on the hummus. Then your whole entire day shot. You spend like $8 to $10 on the hummus, right? That's gonna be a stressful thing. So I see why people don't want to be a super person, right? Because you got to have a lot of money to be a super person. There's no such thing as a broke. Okay, there's you for you to be a real super person, not a great person. You can be at any level, doesn't matter. But talking about super person, you gotta solve super problems. So and those super problems come with super consequences. So you gotta have like super money to make it all happen. Like you can't be like a thousandaire and be super, because then somebody be like, yo, we starving over here. You be like, well, I ain't gonna get paid until the 15th. So, in the meantime, y'all just hold it out, and then, maybe I'll give you some bags of chips and y'all can like survive off of that. No, you gotta have like super money to have that superpower lifestyle. They don't talk about that, right? Like that's I think they need, like, cause like what Bruce Wayne, multi-millionaire or billionaire. That either or, he got a lot of money, right? Superman, that dude come from a different planet. Like, you think his planet, he was the brokest person there? He was the brokest person. He probably was coming from a nice lifestyle out there. He was like middle class family in Europe or something like that, which, or not even Europe, but like one of the expensive European countries. So like his middle class is like extremely expensive for us. Or either you gotta be extremely rich, or you gotta have some rich stuff happen to you. Wolverine, he had titanium fused to his bones. That ain't cheap. I don't know about you. Titanium is like expensive, right? And then to fuse it with bones, and that's That's a lot of money. So yeah, if you're a superhero, you gotta have a lot of money, or you gotta be in a situation where somebody investing a lot of money in you, right? So at the end of the day, you have to have super money to be a super. You have to yeah, you have to have super amount of money to have a super person lifestyle. Even with superpowers, right? Like X-Men. There was in that Xavier's extraordinary whatever mansion, right? That ain't cheap. They had classes only for mutants, so that's a situation there. So like I think yeah, they don't talk about that. That's a privileged thing to have. You already have the superpowers, but then see you need the super money to round it all out. Cause you can't live in no. Imagine you live in a third story walk up in Bushwick or something here in New York, and you have a superpower. Like you serious? Like you're gonna be bothered. You're gonna be like, yo, please. That's why when somebody have a superpower, they don't want no one to know first, because if they do know, then they gonna get bothered. Like, yo, can you help me out with this? Can you help me with that? Like, if I knew somebody can fly, like, and they live right here, oh, we gonna be friends. I'm gonna be saying hi to you every day, followed by some requests. You serious? Yo, you can't be out here and just know how to fly, and then you have your own anonymity. Like you just be like, no, okay, I don't want to. I don't want to be bothered. I like to have my privacy. It's like, no, bro, you fly. Everyone's gonna talk to you. Like, yes, please fly me to over here. Fly me back. Like, fly me to Africa, bro. The ticket prices are expensive. Just fly me there real quick. It don't take you that long. Don't you have supersonic like flight or something? I'll give you a couple dollars. It's already free for you to fly. So just I'll give you like a couple $100. You make a business right there. You fly me over to Africa real quick. I'll go see my peoples, and then after that, they make it work. And then even when you're there, we'll come feed you. We'll give you some good jollof rice. The best kind, not the other kinds. We'll give you some, some sweet plantain, all that one, right? Pause. We'll give you all that one. You know. So man, you gotta have super money to have a superpower. Think about that. Fucking stupid. Superpower. But it's an interesting culture though. I wonder one of those other cultures that have like their own, I think they do, right? But it's like probably steep in religion, I'm assuming. Like if like a person who have a superpower usually is like through some religious means or something, or through some like, spiritual like something like um I don't really know any. I don't know any offhand from my culture, to be honest. But I know there's some cultures where like this is the diet. This is the deity that like brings good luck. So that is a superpower. But you yourself as a person have to make sacrifices or so in order for that to happen. So okay, don't do this type of thing at this time of the year, and this deity will give you a good luck or something. Uh, yeah, I feel like all the other cultures, they you have the people in which you're gonna benefit the blessings, they have to make a sacrifice. So almost kind of make it like a two-way street. Okay, so that adds to it too. So for a person to be a super person and like live amongst the people also have to make some type of sacrifice in their life in order for that like to work. Because imagine that's a one-way street. If the super person have to always do something for everybody, but that everybody don't gotta do nothing for the super person. The super person might be like, yo, like, how about you guys help me out with groceries? How about you pay for my rent? Because I can't have no regular job knowing how to fly and work an office job, 9 to 5. If you're a super person and you have to work a 9 to 5, and then you have to have benefits and a 401k and worry about retirement or pension, you're not a super person. You're a great person, but you're not a super person. We that's regular people problems. So if you have regular people problems, that means you're not a super person. You gotta that's a great person, great person, just not super. There's levels to it. Just based on the movies I see here. Maybe there's other movies in other countries. Maybe that's something different. I don't know. Could be something different depending on how you look at it. You know. Shout out to all those who are traveling. I know there's a lot of people traveling right now. There's an exchange that's happening. People from America traveling over to Europe, and people from Europe traveling over to America. I went to the Statue of Liberty, a couple days ago, and what's funny, a New York culture thing is that most people that are from here have been living here for a long time. They never go to the Statue of Liberty, which is funny, right? That's like the symbol. That's one of the symbols of New York. And no one really goes. Like, there's only tourists that goes. Like, so the whole time I was there, I was just hearing a whole bunch of whole other. Like, I was hearing a whole other different like culture. Or not hearing all different culture. I was hearing other cultures, like in terms of the languages, but I didn't see anyone that I felt like was from New York or like lived in New York for a long time. Like, it was very kind of like, you come. The only people that are visiting the Statue of Liberty are people that are just visiting New York City, like not living here. And at first I'm like, yo, that's kind of weird. Like, why is that the case or whatever? And then I realized, I'm like, oh, okay, the lines to get onto the ferry to get to Statue of Liberty and then back, oh my god, brutal, like crazy. Like, as I was standing in line, I was like, all right, this is. I see why people don't come. Like, and you had to check in your stuff as well. Like, so you almost felt like you was going to the airport. You had to take everything out your pockets and like put it down. You had to, in some places you couldn't bring your food and everything. I was like, damn, yo, this is. I'm already here. Now I got to do this thing as if I'm about to leave from here. Like, I got to empty my pockets, make sure there's nothing metal. I can't bring no water, all this stuff. I got to put my things in a locker to get to the Statue of Liberty. It was like an actual TSA like process. I'm like, yo, all right, this is the first and last time. I see why people don't come, because if I've been living here for a long time and I have to go through a TSA process just to visit something that's already here, I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm all right. Like, I live here. I know what New York is about. What more do I need to see that I have to go through that process? If I'm going to another country, cool. All right, I'll go through that process. But you know, um, to visit, to what, go to a part of New York, I gotta act like I'm going to a different like country. I'm okay. I'm good. I was talking about a book last time, and it was like, what, Die with Zero. There's another book here, actually. It is called. It's called The Black Swan. It's actually kind of deep. It's a very dense book. I don't know if I really want to talk about it. It's basically like events that happens like once in a, not once in a lifetime, but like those events that kind of like changes the whole game. Like some monsoon that happens, or like 9/11 that happened, or certain things that happened like centuries ago that kind of changes everything, and how you kind of have to be resilient, um, and not try to guess when those things are gonna happen, because they just happen sometimes. Like, you may not know. Like, all right, COVID. Like, some people could say, all right, COVID was gonna happen at a certain time, but not everyone knew, and you kind of had to learn how to be resilient through those times of when everyone was figuring it out. Or even inflation, right? We're dealing with inflationary times right now, and how you deal and maneuver with that. That's a whole different. You have to be resilient, but you couldn't, like, you can plan it, but you don't know when it's gonna happen. So it's like, all right, cool. I know that rates are gonna go up, and some inflationary stuff is gonna happen, but when it's gonna happen, that's the one where not everyone can like just know that. Like, you're gonna have to just put yourself in a position that regardless if that happens or not, do you know how to survive through it, and you know how to like live through that. So that's an interesting thing that I had in the book. Some of the themes in that book of like, look, don't listen to someone who says like, I know when it's gonna happen. It's kind of like, you may know that it will happen somewhere in the future, but in terms of when it's gonna happen, that's something that you can't say, all right, I know it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's like, so that's an interesting thing in terms of like just keeping in mind, like, hey, look, don't try to predict the future. Just know that there's some things that will most likely happen in the future, but when it's gonna happen in the future, that's probably like a waste of time. Not a fortune teller. And if you are, do you believe other fortune tellers? There you go. If you think you can see what's going to happen in the future with so much surety, that means you also believe in fortune tellers as well. If you don't believe in fortune tellers, then how you going to believe that you know exactly what's going to happen in the future? Think about that. Think about that. That's some real stuff right there. Well, hopefully I didn't step on anybody's toes. I know some people can really get passionate about, like, what's gonna happen. I know that, of course this is gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen. It's like, really, you knew it was gonna. If you knew it was gonna happen, did you benefit from the situation? Nah, eggs are expensive. Then it's like, all right, well, clearly you didn't know enough to do something about it or to benefit from it. Sometimes people be knowing, like, they be like, yo, like, I knew this was gonna happen. It's like, if you knew, did you want this to happen? If you knew it was gonna happen, that's a better question. So it's like, all right, so you knew so and so was gonna fall down. Like, did you want that person to fall down? Like, if you knew it, then why you didn't stop it? Come on, super person. I thought you knew better, right? All right. Well, shout out to all the super persons. I just want to talk to y'all. I'm pretty sure you guys enjoying your vacation. Hopefully, people here in New York are also enjoying the uh the regular summer levels, not with the crazy humidity and everything. And yeah, for me, I'm about to go outside actually right now, enjoy myself a little bit before it gets extremely cold or some other crazy stuff happens. I can't predict the future. I just know that I'm not a super person, so I'm not gonna even try to do that. And I'm just gonna go outside and enjoy myself. If you guys like and hear what you see, what you're hearing, I messed that up. If you like if you like what you're seeing, if you like what you're hearing, rate, subscribe, let me know. And if you have any questions in terms of like culture, or you want to just submit anything, just we'll have the email actually in the description. So just send an email out, and we'll see it. And if you want us to talk about any topics, let us know. So guys, thank you very much. You have a good one, and I'm about to go outside. Peace.